Why do you think you want to be an elected leader in Benton Harbor?
Good evening. My name is Gary Gill, and I'm a candidate for Second Ward Commissioner. I've lived in Benton Harbor for 7 years plus now on Pipestone Street, and I take pride in my community and this city. I see the need, and it's a dire need, for good leadership, for accountability in government, for efficiency in government, and as an elected official, for the need to represent the electors. I've done some research and some reading and reviewing. I've learned that Benton Harbor is a manager council type of government, and this is an important situation that the city is in right now, to the fact that we are led by an EFM, and this is not by accident. The reason why there's an EFM here is because of the lack of leadership and accountability that the city has represented and portrayed the last number of years. I've served as vice president of the Pipestone Street Block Club, and I've had an opportunity to have events in that block club and represent that group. And we've had a number of families and children at community fairs that the block club has organized. I'm a taxpayer, and I take dearly the taxes, and I'm a voter. And as a taxpayer, I'm frankly ashamed of the fact that my tax dollars have gone to the city, and our elected officials have not done their due diligence and the proper governance with my money, that my family can have a safe community. And Benton Harbor once and can and will be again a great community. But it requires excellence in leadership. It requires accountability. And I'm here to tell you today that I intend, when elected as Second Ward Commissioner, to represent the city with accountability, integrity.
Thank you.
Well, good evening. My name is Trent Bowens, and I am running for Second Ward City Commissioner. I am a lifelong resident of Benton Harbor. I am actually a graduate of Benton Harbor High School class of 2007. A few years ago, I started a dialogue with the residents, and I got to see the story that everyday Benton Harbor residents affect. Like that single dad that works day and night trying to make needs meet, or that mom that deals with the slum landlord, working 9 to 5, worried about how she's going to send her kids to school and every day, and to only come home and see that her sidewalks are not done. She's still dealing with the slum landlord. People have lost faith in our government, and that's why I'm running to restore faith. I'm running so Benton Harbor can believe again. Government can't solve all the problems, but we can bring solutions. And a vote for Trent Bowens is a vote for solutions. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sharon Henderson. I'm also a lifelong resident of Benton Harbor. Lived here all my life. Been married for 12 years, have 3 children, a wonderful husband. And several years ago, probably in 1997, I got involved with different grassroots organizations like Neighborhood Information and Sharing Exchange and a couple other nonprofit grassroots organizations. And got bitten by the bug of, I live in this community, I take ownership of this community and the things that go on, and so that was very important to me. Got out of it for a while, but wanted to come back and have positive solutions for our city. Things that have gone on in the past, I think, have hurt our city and has created a lot of apathy among voters. People say, my vote doesn't matter. Because they don't go down there and they're going to do the same things that they've been doing. And I want to show people that that's not the case. There are people who live in Benton Harbor who have integrity, who care about our residents and the things that happen in our city. And so that's why I'm running for public office. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, the panelists will ask the candidates a series of questions. My first question for all three of you, and Ms. Henderson, if you would start, Mrs. Henderson. What are your opinions of the city charter ballot proposals?
On all or
On
on all of them? Well, I'll start with the ward commission. I think that our city is too small to have the number of commissioners governing our city, but I also think that eliminating the at-large commissioners is the better option because doing so, the people that live in those wards, that represent those wards, Ward 1, Ward 3, Ward 4, they have the heart of those citizens in their hands, so they understand what's going on in those particular wards. So I think having people who know the wards, who represent that, is a better option than eliminating the ward commissions altogether. Eliminate the at-large, and not necessarily all of them, maybe 3, and so we'll have a 7-member board, but I don't agree with eliminating the ward commission seats. Thank you.
After reviewing the proposals that's on the ballot, I think, number one, I would encourage every voter in here to please review that. It really affects the government at large. I'm going to say yes and no. Sharon kind of shared my sentiments, but I think we need to tell them, first, number one, I can't support it because there was no public hearing. They didn't hear what the voters wanted to say about this. So it was a self-made decision. I don't think we, as the people, citizens of Benton Harbor, were involved in this decision. Number two, you right now, at the commissioner at large, we have 5 commissioners, well, 5 commissioners along with the mayor, staying in one part of the city. Some call it accountability. That's not accountability. It's unfair. And the residents need to take a look at that. How can you have all your city commissioners staying on one side of town, representing and affecting your daily needs of your area? I think we need to look at that. Also, the voters, to me personally, just need to say, voted no, fix it, and send it back. But I do support the library that's on the ballot. I think it's important that we vote yes for the library. Our children go there, and it's a great need in our community. So please vote yes on the library. That's one thing I do support.
I do have just a follow-up comment, just so the audience understands. At the first forum, it was stated that any person, any citizen, could submit a ballot proposal to the state and be the sole submitter of such, that there is not necessarily a public forum that has to be held. That is something that can be done by any citizen. So I just want to clarify the consortium putting on the nonpartisan forum. They recognize that disconnect, but it is not something that warrants a public forum. Thank you. Mr. Green.
I agree. I support all the ballot proposals. And one of the reasons I support them, I support the reduction from 9 commission to 5. The city does not have the population it once had. The reduction will help efficiency in government. I agree that to run for one ward and someone gets voted in, and I may not, as an elector, have an opportunity to vote that person in. I may not want that person in office, but yet by a mere 2 or 3 votes, they win the ward commission seat over someone else. If they're running for an open ward and all commissioners are running for an open ward, then all the voters, all the electors have an opportunity to have their say in whether that individual or individuals are elected into that commission seat.
I have a question, and again, it's for all of the panelists. Question is this: you've spoken about the ballot initiatives having to do with the reduction of the city commission in one way or another. I heard a discussion of the library. But there is also a series of ballot initiatives, they sort of go together, that have to do with the power of the city manager. And in particular, the initiatives taken together would make the city attorney, the city clerk, and the city treasurer responsible not to the commission directly as they are now, but to the city manager. And then the city manager, of course, is responsible to the commission. I would ask each of you to comment on that particular set of proposals. Are you for and against that change in the city manager's role? And if so, why or why not?
Start, and I apologize. I meant to do that. A little nervous up here. We all are. Yes, on that particular amendment, yes, I actually agree with that. On any job, you have one person that is in charge and people report to, and I think our city needs to be ran that same way. So yes, I actually agree about that.
I support special parts from that. From my understanding, we had a city commissioner that was the finance chairman. When you're the finance chairman, you should have knowledge and oversight and actually, managing, making sure things are happening correctly with the city government. I think we probably had some incompetent leadership in that part. I think the city commission should be able to, I think the city manager should have the staff support, but I do think our city clerk, our city attorney, I think those should be elected positions. I think it would be better because the residents, remember, the residents are voting for these people, they're getting paid by your tax dollars. I think you should have a say on who's to hire and who not to hire. That's what I think.
For reasons of efficiency, I believe that we're a manager-council government. And the city manager reports to the commission. I feel that for continuity, for leadership, that the city attorney, the finance director, and the clerk should report to the city manager. And then the city manager then takes the information, gathers it, and gives the best information he has gathered from those individuals, then to the commission, who then makes the executive decisions and the legislative decisions for the city.
Let me be clear when I say I support special parts. I don't think I clarified that. I do think that the city manager should have staff members reporting like the city clerk and everything, but I don't support the powers that he would be given. I think he could make recommendations to fire, but to fire and hire staff, if we have a special interest organization, say for example, I have a cousin or whatever that's a city clerk or has expertise in being that, and I want to hire my cousin, without the city manager or the city council having approval, I can hire whoever I want to hire. If I'm that city manager, I can hire my cousin. I think that should not be the case. I think the voters we need to change the charter. That's why I say we need to vote no, reject it, and have it fixed. I think the question should be, do we support Benton Harbor becoming a city mayor form of government?